6 at the SKD Stadium in Monrovia.
Opposition leader in Parliament, Honorable Abdul Kargbo, has written an open letter to President Julius Maada Bio, expressing serious concern over what he described as growing international reports linking Sierra Leone to drug trafficking and organized crime networks. We will speak to him on that.
And also this morning, Defense for Children International say more than 60% of children face challenges in accessing justice and protection services. We shall bring you that report.
But before that, let's get a quick message from our sponsor, Rokel Commercial Bank, and other advertisers, and we shall be right back with you.
More and more people are using Rokel SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Mr. Abdul, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like Rokel SIM Copper. Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Rokel SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Rokel SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
Sorry, Carl, go see some business partners.
You didn't give me money, Michael. Can if I can say you give me discount people in no to in Andy. Michael, today you pay me money. I don't send it for let you help me send money in Ghana. 2 weeks now, you not send me money and 10 you not give me back me money. Today, give me money.
You know ever sabi goodness in life. I send back your money, but trust me, today na the very last day I ever send money for now.
I don't need your help because I don't know so with Afri money. I dey able send money. Now Baku Africa countries them. With Afri money, we dey able send money to over 10 African countries, whether it's Ghana, Gambia, Liberia or Kenya. If me party we know this, we not follow the party grammar right now.
Okay, una go regret. I mean now una go regret.
The best part right now, Michael, with Afri money, you dey able send money even if you not use app, even if you not the online directly. All you need for do, you just a dial *161#. Pam, your money don't go. So I don't need the help again. Thief man.
Thank you.
Send money to over 10 African countries instantly with Afri Money. No stress, no excuses. Just dial *161*1*6# now. Afri Money, quick and easy.
Good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina, share happiness.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes to waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sierra juice because they make come from with local foods them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now you make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice, a nutritious, a healthy, and a sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salome.
Welcome back, and a reminder that this is Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV Television and Radio in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Now, Defense for Children International, DCI, and its partners have held an intergenerational dialogue on access to justice for children in conflict with the law, with a special focus on the experience of girls in Sierra Leone. According to DCI Country Manager Manaf Kemokai, more than 60% of children face challenges in accessing justice and protection services. The figure, however, was presented without detailed methodology in the session. UNICEF has consistently warned that children in many low-income justice systems face barriers including limited legal aid, long pretrial detention, and weak child-sensitive procedures. Our reporter, George Batilu Powell, has the details.
Defense for Children International Sierra Leone and its partners have convened justice sector actors, children and civil society representatives in Freetown for an intergenerational dialogue on child justice reform. The discussion focused on children in conflict with the law and the barriers they face in accessing legal protection. DCI Executive Director Abdul Kemokai told participants that more than 60% of children encounter difficulties in accessing justice services. The organization did not present disaggregated data or a published report during the session, leaving gaps in verification of the figure. He said many children remain vulnerable due to limited legal aid, weak child-friendly court procedures, and persistent social stigma.
Injustice rate against children is still over 60%, if I would say that, across all institutions, because the system has not been developed in such a way that you have effective monitoring system and accountability system in place to hold people who are not even applying the very laws that we have accountable. So people are more applying their individual understanding about justice or whatever they want to do in terms of who is influencing them and things like that. So injustice is still so much. Violations are still happening at higher level across all, justice institutions. Improvements are taking place, but like I said, these improvements have not been well sustainable or well spread across the country.
A representative from the Family Support Unit at the Criminal Investigation Department headquarters outlined the role of law enforcement in handling juvenile cases. She said officers are guided by child protection standards and deviation principles that prioritize rehabilitation over detention. She, however, acknowledged challenges, including limited training in child-sensitive interviewing and resource constraints in specialized juvenile handling units.
Some of the
the challenges that we face in acquiring justice for these children that we are fighting for, some of these children are not accompanied. Yes, in as much as they are not accompanied, we cannot penetrate except otherwise, unlike for those who are accompanied. Because those who are not accompanied, when they come, make a complaint. First and foremost, we say you are a child. You cannot make a decision on your own. Yes, so we tell them, go and get your parents or whosoever you are with, whether an uncle or an aunt. When they go, they don't come back. They don't return. Unlike those who are accompanied, their parents or their guardians, they bring them. Yes, they give us their complaints. Then we work on it and try to see that we investigate their case to the latter for them to get justice at the end of the day.
Child protection groups warn that more children are finding themselves on the streets of Freetown, where poverty, neglect, and lack of educational opportunities leave many vulnerable to abuse, exploitation, and crime. They weave through traffic, sleep in market stalls, and beg at busy junctions.
The president of the Children's Forum Network called for stronger institutional accountability to close gaps in child protection.
This topic is talking about injustice and justice issue. So one which we noticed as Children's Forum Network advocates is that a lot of children who would have committed crimes, their cases mostly are being delayed. Sometimes they are even being forgotten. I can remember 2 years ago, we've been to these remand homes, even where some of them are living, it's really not encourageable. And some of them, it takes a lot of time for them to call them. Some of them are really spending too much of time that they are supposed to spend.
The dialogue ended with calls for more coordinated action to protect vulnerable children, especially girls within Sierra Leone's justice system. George Batulu Powell, AYV News, Freetown.
Many thanks indeed to George Batulu Powell. Now, recently, Sierra Leone has been confronted with many things, ranging from starvation in accessing basic social amenities. Financial difficulties are shown in inflation and purchasing power to serve political dilemmas. Adding to this is the several drug scandals surrounding the country. Now, from the unraveling of the actual identity of Jos Lydekkers by international news agencies and the Dutch government as drug baron and his alleged affiliation with the First Family, to the ambassador to Guinea who has been recently recalled and replaced, to another drug baron found with diplomatic passports, and to present allegations of over 30 tons of drug found in a vessel en route Mediterranean, which came from Sierra Leone allegedly. The country's image remains hot, with some reports saying it is a hub for cocaine and drug trafficking. Now, while the government denies claim of cocaine infiltration, international agencies say the drug business is deeply rooted in the country. Lending his voice to the issue, opposition leader in Parliament, Honorable Abdul Kargbo, in a letter addressed to the President, His Excellency Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, notes with concerns that the present circumstances put the country's reputation at a very high stake. Good morning, Honorable. It's a pleasure having you.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Indeed. I haven't actually read the entirety of the letter, but if you would, just entreat us to some of the other details.
Firstly, the letter is not politically motivated. I am indeed the leader of the opposition in Parliament, but I am equally a Sierra Leonean who is concerned about the reputation of our country. I travel a lot, and we know the embarrassment faced by Sierra Leoneans once our country is tagged with narcotic activities. So I wrote the letter because I do not want myself, nor any Sierra Leonean, nor the country to be tagged as narco state. And what is clear is the fact that most of these things thrive because people keep quiet, because of silence, or because of corruption, or because of institutional compromise, or because of political protection. So we have seen it that Sierra Leoneans need to speak up. It is not a coincidence that our seaports, our airports, our borders have been greatly associated with drug trafficking. You go to allegations in Hong Kong, allegations in India, allegations from Sri Lanka, allegations from Europe, even in Nigeria, in Guinea. You know, they have caught Sierra Leoneans there with, or they have linked Sierra Leone ports with the export of cocaine. So to us, it is deeply worrisome, deeply worrisome, because it has to do with the future of our country. There are a lot of effects if this is not nipped on the bud. There are people, investors, who don't come to countries that are described as narco states because of instability and because of the fact that their investments may go down the drains. This may also affect banking relationship between Sierra Leone and other countries. Even visa access. When once your country is tagged, it is highly likely that your country will be denied, your citizens will be denied visa on the perception that they are traffickers of cocaine. Even the tourism sector, it will affect, because tourists don't like to come to any country associated with drugs. Even in trade, maritime confidence, diplomatic credibility. You would agree with me that recently the Dutch government was asking EU, to ensure that they stop sponsoring Sierra Leone. And we are benefiting a lot from EU. Most of our bridges are being constructed by EU funds. So everybody should not be quiet at a time like this, when the name of our country is on the limelight. And interestingly, government is not doing much. Government is not doing much. I could remember when the Dutch government asked for the extradition of Bolijos. There was a police release that the person here is Umar Sharif. Okay, let me agree that there was personality conflict. Why didn't the police issue out a warrant for Umar Sharif? Or why didn't they invite Umar Sharif to be able to substantiate whether it's the Bolijos or is Umar Sharif indeed? And all of these it has high credibility impact on us as a nation. So for Sierra Leone to grow, and for the integrity of this country to be preserved, and for the name of this country to be saved, I believe something has to be done, definitely, and somebody has to come out. Minus the international embarrassment, there is also a local effect on drugs. You would agree with me that a good number of our youth are subjected to drugs. I gave in the letter a personal experience that drugs has not spared a single family. My nephew was in the village, was in Lunge. I brought him from Lunge, ensured that he's admitted at Milty Magai College, reading international relations, paid his entire year fee, only went for 2 weeks and took to Aberdeen Bridge due to drugs. And we have a good number of young people that have taken to drugs. So we should have that anger against drugs. But it does not reflect. That was why I copied all the relevant institutions that are to fight against drugs. Drugs is killing our next generation.
Have you gotten any response from them?
Well, I didn't get personally a response, but I followed up with the press release held by ONS and the police. I didn't write them to reply me. Okay. They were all copied. This is an open letter to the president. I followed closely the press release organized by the police and the ONS on the incident of the MV Aconia from Spain. Okay. You see, so to us that is not the only allegation against Sierra Leone. Even recently, I think 2 or 3 days ago, another ship has been arrested in Germany, and allegedly with over 20 tons, and they say it is coming from Sierra Leone. So we have to do something as a nation.
I'm really surprised that up till now we haven't heard concretely from Parliament. I mean, you sit in Parliament, you lead the opposition aisle in the same Parliament. Why hasn't the Parliament formed a committee, if you like, that would oversee the extradition of Bolios, for example? We start there. Why?
Well, Parliament has had a committee, and of course, at a point in time, we invited institutional heads of institutions that are supposed to fight against drugs. We invited them to Parliament, and we interrogated them extensively on their role in ensuring that we combat this narcotic activity in our country. So Parliament has a committee. But like I said, it behooves the police. The police has more responsibility than Parliament in this, because there has been an extradition request. And there has also been, a letter to our government. And the Dutch government has been everywhere referring to Sierra Leone, referring to Sierra Leone, referring to Sierra Leone. So the police has, the responsibilities on the police to ensure that they have a warrant.
I believe that's way ahead of the clearance that the police could have in such a matter. This is a high-profile case. You know the architecture of our country. And how things are done here.
I agree, because one of the responsibility of the police is to make sure that they combat crime. Yeah. And let me tell you, in the past 1 to 2 years, you will agree with me that there are a lot of kidnap cases. And most of these kidnap cases are associated with drugs activities. We've seen where people are kidnapped and they are killed, their dead bodies are found somewhere, and we've seen a lot of activities in Sierra Leone. So for the stability of this country, something has to be done. Yeah. Something has to be done. And all of us can't be quiet at a time like this.
Honorable, what were you hoping to achieve from writing an open letter to the president at this time?
Is to ensure that stringent measures are taken. Firstly, I requested that the government comes together and agree to extradite the fugitive that has been found here. That is my first hope. Because when you want to disassociate yourself from an allegation, you must work frantically towards that. You must just not be saying it. There should be concrete actions towards that. Since the day allegations were made that is in Sierra Leone, there has been a lot of drug cases associated to Sierra Leone. So the first thing we should do, first thing I expect from government, and it is in my letter, that he is extradited.
Many would say, well, most times people do write open letters when they want to inform someone of happenings. For instance, wanting the president to know, this is happening, Mr. President. I wonder if you're aware, but can you do this and this and this? But in your own case, you're an honorable member of parliament. And many people are asking, why not do something that would bring results, instead of just inform the president of something he already knows about? Because we are all seeing the reports all over the world, not just in Sierra Leone. International media houses have reported it. And in fact, they're even linking the first family to be affiliated, in fact, with the person in question. Why not move a motion in parliament for whoever this Just Didekers is to be investigated, why not move a motion in Parliament to ensure that this MV Aconian, if that's what it's called, allegations surrounding it, is investigated so that we can have real results. But many people would think that just writing an open letter to the president on something he already knows about doesn't make much sense.
No, it makes enormous sense. And I will tell you how it makes sense. The mere fact that a Sierra Leonean has come out boldly to tell the president that this is damaging the credibility of our nation, and this would ensure at the end of the day that Sierra Leone is referred to as a narcotic state, goes a long way in telling the public and His Excellency the President that something has to be done. You know, the name of this country has to be saved. I could remember the President has said on television that he's traveling to clean the image of this country. And the best way to clean the image of this country is from the damning allegations of drugs. If we keep quiet, if everybody keeps quiet, then it's a concern. Now everybody knows that a Sierra Leonean, more so the leader of the opposition, has informed the president that government is not doing much in ensuring that they nip this on the bud. And this is very important because it has far-reaching implications on not only the nation, on even Sierra Leoneans that travel all around the country, all around the world.
Okay, so the question still is, what is stopping you as an opposition member of parliament, in fact the leader of the opposition, am I correct? Am I correct? Are you the leader of the opposition in parliament?
Of course.
Yes. What is stopping you from moving a motion for all these allegations to be investigated here in Sierra Leone and bring real results?
Again, like I said, this has gone beyond motion.
Why so?
Yes, because there has been an extradition request from the Dutch government. This is with the police. The police already has, you know, its role to play. For the fact that a face has been identified to a name, and there are two names for that one face, the police has to invite the one face and be able to substantiate whether it's the name that the Dutch government is associating to the face, or it's the name that the face has on the Sierra Leonean passport it has.
Exactly my point, Honorable.
Yes, yes.
You can move a motion and ensure that this is done.
No, let me tell you. Let me tell you. When police wanted Natasha Beckley, it was not Parliament that moved the motion. It was the police that invited her.
Correct.
When they wanted Zainab Sharif, it was not Parliament that moved the motion. It was the police that invited her and ensured that they did what they did. You understand? So we are saying this same police that has invited Zainab Sharif, invited Natasha, who are Sierra Leoneans, and because of, you know, they had issues. This issue is bigger than the issues that they used to invite those Sierra Leoneans. And this is a foreigner. He's not a Sierra Leonean. So for us to sit down and see a foreigner watering the credibility of our nation, and everybody keeps quiet as if there is nobody in Sierra Leone, the police themselves cannot do their work, it's worrisome. That was why I did my open letter. Now, like I tell you, we are even intending to invite the police again in Parliament to question them. What are they doing? How far have they gone? This is no one man's business. This has to do with our nation. This has to do with all of us. There was a point in time I was traveling. I went to Abuja. You know, they took my diplomatic passport and they told me to stand, you know, at the corner. I was there for a while and they asked me to enter a room. I said I will not enter the room. Look my passport and give me my passport. You know, it was there, and then they gave me my passport and apologized to me. But all of those they were orchestrated by the fact that I am a Sierra Leonean.
Honorable, in your own words, It is the same police that arrested Zainab Sharif when they wanted to arrest, sent for Natasha Beckley when they wanted to. But it's now apparent, it's obvious that they are not willing to do the needful in this case.
That is why we'll
that
invite
is why
them.
we have parliament.
That is why we'll invite them.
And what do you intend to achieve from inviting them? To just advise them again?
No,
because
no.
you've done it in the past.
No. We'll question them. You don't move a motion in parliament for another institution to, like the police, to investigate. It's their own responsibility to investigate. We move a motion for parliament to take decision on where our jurisdiction stop. In a case that the police reneges from doing their function, we invite them, we question them.
Do we have an oversight committee for drugs and narcotics in parliament?
Of course, not specifically drugs, narcotics. We have an oversight committee on internal affairs.
What have they done so far?
We have an oversight committee on foreign affairs.
Okay.
So this committee, I told you that when the issue of drugs started, we invited institutional heads.
Okay.
And we subject them to thorough questioning as to why there is an increase in drug trade in Sierra Leone.
Okay, Honorable. In your letter, of course, you reference reports that the MV Akonian departed from Freetown carrying over 30 tons of cocaine. What specific questions do you think the government needs to answer regarding this MV Akonian ship that was arrested?
Let me tell you why we should be very careful is that those who were on board the ship were arrested by the Spanish authority, and some of them are cooperating with the police.
Okay.
They are cooperating, they are giving sensitive information to the police. You understand? So as a nation, we must investigate where it docked, what was in there, who confirmed what was in there, how it left here. And let me tell you, there are GPSs, there are naval tools that you use to know the route of this ship. Nobody just stands up and guess the route of these ships.
Exactly.
Yes, they know the route of these ships. So our government, because it's not only drugs. According to the Spanish authority, arms and ammunition were also in the vessel, and that vessel was from Sierra Leone, according to them. So it's alarming. It shows that we are not safe. It shows that anything can happen to us as a nation.
So do you think the government owes us, as citizens, some answers?
Of course, why not?
So what specific questions do you think, what specific questions do you think the government should answer in this case when it comes to this particular ship that was arrested?
You see, I don't want us to just limit it to this ship that was arrested.
I want to ask about this ship specifically for now.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah.
What the allegations on drugs being exported, to other countries, being exported from Sierra Leone is very alarming. Yeah, I have stated over 5 nations, over 7 nations that have alleged that drugs are from Sierra Leone. The drugs they caught are from Sierra Leone. So it's not coincident. It's not coincident, and it is clearly indicative of the fact that the Dutch government has issued out an extradition request. So to us, it is not just coincidence. It's not just an accident. The allegations are coming repeatedly, and they are all coming down to Sierra Leone. The worst thing we can do to our nation is to tag our nation a narcotic state. That's the worst thing we can do to our nation. It will cover all the good that we have ever done as a state, And recently, you have seen what is happening. The US now has released countries in which they are going to continue their visa processing, and Sierra Leone is not among those countries. So it is very alarming. It's very serious.
Do you think your party, the All People's Congress, the opposition, is playing their own part in all these allegations? What have you done so far as a formidable opposition to ensure that the world know that Sierra Leone is not ready to be tagged a narcotic state, that we're ready to move past this, that we want to do better? What have you done to hold government to account for all of these allegations that we don't seem to be having answers?
The opposition has held press conference. In fact, it's not one press conference. The opposition has held press conferences. So make it very clear.
Do you think that's enough?
That, yeah, it's in fact, you would agree with me that the opposition threatened that we would stage a protest.
Was that just a threat?
No, it was not. It was not only a threat. The opposition meant it. And that was not only meant for what happened with this ECSL. It also covers the allegation of drugs and also the rampant trade of drugs within our nation. So the opposition is seriously concerned. If the opposition was not concerned, I would not have gone further to writing that letter to the president.
What concrete actions does the opposition intend to take to ensure that such image, this kind of image that the world is now having of Sierra Leone, is at least, what should I say, changed a bit?
The opposition still holds the view that if positive actions are not taken, there will be a peaceful protest to liberate our country from these drugs allegations.
Honorable, let's look back in time. You see, the largest cocaine seizure in Sierra Leone's history was in 2008, just months after the APC assumed office. You know, one could ask, if the APC failed, to fix drug issues, then, how could this government do it?
In 2008, it was not the largest cocaine. The largest,
at the time?
Yeah, I will answer you. And let me tell you how the government handled that. In fact, since then, you never heard of cocaine. I will tell you why. When the plane landed, there was no law on drugs. Parliament was convened under emergency to couch a law to hold responsible those who are involved. Sitting ministers, whether they were guilty or they were not guilty, whether they were involved or they were not involved, were relieved of their duties. And the pilots and the crew, who were South Africans, were requested for by the United States government. They were extradited. They were handed over to the United States government for further questioning. That is how a government should respond to allegations of drugs. But there has been several requests on just one person. Up till now, we have not handed over that person, which is very alarming for us as a nation. There is no way we can defend our country when we still hold somebody who is wanted. There is no way we can clean the image of our country when we still have somebody who is wanted. So we should be willing, we should be ready. And since that incident, we did not hear any cocaine trade again. But here now, we have even heard that cocaine was discovered on the official vehicle of the embassy of Sierra Leone in Guinea. Cocaine was discovered. There is nothing that is more disgraceful than that. So meaning, there is a political protection of the trade, which is so alarming. That is why we are coming out to speak on and behalf of Sierra Leone to ensure that our country is liberated from these allegations.
You talked about a protest earlier. Is the APC willing to go that far?
APC is willing to do anything to protect the image of this country.
Would they listen to you?
Oh.
The ruling government? Would they listen to the APC?
Why not?
This time around?
I will force them to listen to us when it comes to protecting the image. Because we believe Sierra Leone does not belong to SLPPO, who are the government now. No. Governments come and they go. but the country remains. So we should, because whatever they do now, if the image of this country is battered, whosoever inherits governance will suffer from that battered image. There is a Creole adage that says, that goes where you get for tots. No go see don't say dirty before you tota. Yes.
You know, the 2028 elections are coming. They are just around the corner. And we all know that the EU is one of our biggest funders when it comes to election financing in Sierra Leone. If they've already begun backing out or blocking us, you know, regarding funding in Sierra Leone, are you worried about the future of Sierra Leone's democracy?
Of course. We cannot love one man at the expense of the image of the entire nation. But for that one man, for one green person, why wouldn't you extradite the person with all evidences that they have shown? In fact, it was even tried in absentia recently.
Yes, convicted.
So yes, so we cannot risk, you know, our entire nation just to protect one individual. We even go to the extent of losing it from EU. No. Nobody who loves Sierra Leone will sit and watch that happen. Nobody who loves Sierra Leone will sit and watch that happen. Very serious. For the sake of our country and for the sake of the internal effect that this drug already has on us as a nation. I have given you my own experience. And a lot of families are suffering from that. Prospect. People who should be ministers, people who should be members of parliament, even some who should be president, and now, you know, victims of drug abuse. Their feature as such. So as a nation, we should do something.
You know, I mean, you've written this letter to, I mean, the president copied most of the ministries that are responsible for drug regulation and all of that. And so if you do not hear from there, I know it, I mean, you do not beg a reply. And it's an open letter. But if no concrete, you know, implementation happens from now, so let's say next week or the next 2 weeks, what would you do?
Again, like I told you, another allegation has emerged.
Yes.
And we still continue to urge government. We still continue to urge the ONS. We still continue to urge the police. We still continue to urge Internal Affairs Ministry, Foreign Affairs Ministry, because all of these incidences are damaging the relationship between Sierra Leone and some other states. So we urge them, we continue to urge them to be very proactive. Like I said, as a political party, the APC has expressed its own dismay on this drug trade. And we have said, even if it causes us to do a peaceful protest against the proliferation of drugs in Sierra Leone, we will do as an opposition.
Can the government be forced to extradite your sliders?
Of course, the government should listen to its people. And if the government should even, is supposed to like the country than the opposition. The sitting government is supposed to, I put it on quotation, supposed to like the country than the opposition. But in this case, it's the reverse. Because for only one man, you subject your entire nation, you know, to so much ridicule, so much demoralization, so much accusation. I'm sure if we get rid of that one man, the allegations on Sierra Leone will reduce.
You know, I know it has never happened, but can Parliament at some stage in this fight to have your sliders extradited stage a national protest, both aisles, the APC and the SLP uniting forces to fight against, you know, a criminal who is lurking in our country?
It boils down again to the political will. Because one thing I feel is that even when I am APC and there is somebody in APC who is a criminal, I should be bold enough to expose the person. The person should not use his party affiliation to destroy my country. He should be bold enough. And the same applies to government. Where even when you have somebody who is, bringing disrepute to the image of this country, there should be that willingness, for us all to work together for the sake of Mama Salon. So I hope that I'll reach that stage when, regardless of political party affiliation, we'll see that protecting the interest of this nation surpasses any individual concern.
Honorable, why do you think it's so difficult for the government to listen and to extradite Jos Lydekkers, who is allegedly in Sierra Leone?
And that is also the answer that I sought for. That is why I wrote the letter. It's an answer everybody wants.
In the most recent...
What is so unique? Why would they protect one man against the image of our only state?
In the most recent press conference that was held by, of course, the Dutch defense minister, I think it's Van der Wiel, I don't quite know his name, but they didn't shy away from insinuating that the president's daughter is having some sort of relationship with this guy called Jos Lydekkers. If they are saying this, don't you think it could be, if that's the case, one of the reasons that we are finding it difficult to get this man extradited?
Well, again, that is why it comes to loving the nation than individual. You should love your nation than any individual, regardless of the relationship. If it poses this serious threat to us as a nation, to the extent that the Dutch government is now calling on EU to suspend their support to Sierra Leone, everybody should be concerned. Everybody should be concerned.
So
everybody, including the president.
I've hosted quite a number of people who are tasked with the responsibility to combat drug trafficking and help with drug abuse, whatever, all that concerns drugs in the country. And these people are never comfortable to even mention the name Jos Lydekkers. In fact, there was another day I interviewed two of them, and they were telling me that they don't know anybody by that name, and they don't have any correspondence showing that they have such a person in Sierra Leone. We are talking about Jos Lydekkers. We're talking about extradition. But those who are tasked with responsibility to ensure that they push for this extradition are not even comfortable to talk about it. Do you think we're hopeless here?
That is why I spoke of political protection. You see, there are people who don't know that posterity will judge them for the position they now hold. Because if you are a coward, you should not serve in government. If you can't come out to call somebody who has been internationally linked to Sierra Leone, or there is evidence, video evidence, that he is in Sierra Leone, and you are running an institution, it means you are being hypocritical. And that is why we don't have solution to combating these drugs. Because those who should be at the forefront are afraid. They are afraid. You will hear them go after a woman that has 4 packets Tramadol, give the woman 36 years imprisonment. They will go after a boy they caught with 2 Tramadol, give the boy 12 years, and they leave the importers, whom they very well know. So they themselves are not doing due diligence.
Is it not because the powers that be, probably these people are scared that they might lose their jobs, and we all know how the country is at the moment. It's tough, even for those of us working and earning a little. So many people might think that, oh, if so and so and so understands that I've done so and so and so to get this man extradited, or to give some meaningful information, or to even mention his name on air, I might end up losing my job. Don't you think that's the case? And if that's the case, do you think that's the case?
Well, that is where morality comes in. It's better you lose your job in doing the right thing than to secure your job, continue to do the wrong thing. Whatsoever you do, posterity will judge you for that. If you think you are doing disservice to this nation, no, you will have to individually pay for what you're doing. So the fact that people are afraid that the system will frown at them shows to a very large extent that the system itself is not prepared to do the right thing.
So if
all
the
what they are
itself,
doing is just for the camera.
So if the system itself, in your words, is not prepared to do the right thing, then what's the way forward for Sierra Leone when it comes to drugs?
Governance, in fact, governance lies in the hands of the people. The people are the majority. We cannot just sit and see, few people destroying the image of this country or destroying the name of this country. So we, the people, owe our own responsibility to ensure that we speak truth to power, to ensure that we tell them the effect of what they're doing, and we tell them that we are going to be the people who would suffer out of this.
If you were to give a fair assessment on how the president himself, President Julius Maada Bio, has handled this drug issue so far, what would be your fair assessment?
The mere fact that Julius Maada is still in Sierra Leone and there is no wanted from the police.
Forgive me to ask, are we now certain that Julius Maada is actually in Sierra Leone?
It was last seen in Sierra Leone, and according to the Guardian newspaper, according to the press conference held in Spain, they uncovered that he is still in Sierra Leone.
What about what our own government is saying?
And there has not been any word from the police as to where he is.
The Sierra Leone police?
Yes, as to where he is. There has not been any public statement on that. There has not been any release from the police that he is wanted. There has not been any release.
And he hasn't been invited?
Of course, that's what I'm saying. You see? So it's worrisome. It's worrisome equally for us as a nation. It's worrisome.
So what's the way forward?
The way forward is to impress on government that the image of this country surpasses the protection of any family member or any individual. We should love that's why we sing the national anthem. That's why we sing the national pledge, you see. If you were President Maada Bio, what would you do in this circumstance? Immediately, I will ask for the extradition of Julius Maada.
Honorable, there are a few questions online. Alfred Tommy Jr. is saying, the question you should be asking are the drug manufactured in Sierra Leone. Do you know, even in the Western world, they are still fighting against drug importation? Should be talking about important stuff as an opposition. Elisha James Conte is saying, this is where we want to see the seriousness of the opposition coming out on a peaceful protest on the fight against drugs. Please, if you want to sit at home, this is what you must sit at home for. This drug allegation is damaging our country's integrity. Amidou Pote is saying, good morning, guys. Drug is a major problem in our country. 98% of Sierra Leonean people are taking a drug. Aliko Ben Kurma is saying, opposition and APC are quick to blackmail the government or the country. Little did they know what they are blackmailed themselves. Whatever happens to this country, whether bad or good, everyone will feel it. Their only focus is to take power. Elisha James Conter again, I've told people that the Sierra Leone police is the worst police in the world, and under the leadership of this government, it has shown clearly. And let's go back to our constitution and change laws that give the president power to appoint the IGP. Let there be a law that will set a reputable body that appoints such head, because you can see that the SLP cannot do their job because they are afraid or order from above. DK saying this government has encouraged drug baron in Sierra Leone just to get themselves rich at the expense of Sierra Leoneans. I'm afraid the country's image has been destroyed. So Mosdi saying, Victor Jones, if the speaker says the drug crisis and your Slidekers affair are being made bigger, bigger than they should be in court, then the problem isn't Parliament, it's the mindset leading to it. How can an institution fight for accountability when its own referee is already waving issue away? A global narcotic fugitive on our soil is not an exaggeration. It's a national alarm bell. When leadership minimizes a crisis, it's not neutrality, it's a signal. And that signal is loud. Don't dig too deep, don't ask too much, don't rock the boat. That's exactly what the public must keep the pressure on them. Institutions only rise when citizens refute or refuse to sing. All right, so these are some of the messages, Honorable, you would like to respond to.
Yes, most of them are patriotic messages, especially those that are saying that the mere fact a war baron, drug baron, is associated in Sierra Leone is no longer a child's play. And some are saying the opposition is blackmailing the government. You know, there I come to ask myself, was it the opposition who discovered cocaine in the vehicle of the government of Sierra Leone in Guinea? Was it the opposition who arrested the MV Akonia going to Spain? Was it the opposition who arrested the cocaine allegedly coming from Sierra Leone to Nigeria? Was it the opposition who arrested the cocaine in Hong Kong, the cocaine in Germany, the cocaine in Turkey? Was it the opposition? No. Did this country keep quiet on these allegations? No, they didn't keep quiet. Do we have these allegations in international media? Yes. In Al Jazeera, in BBC, in Reuters, in The Guardian, all over. Newspapers are carrying, international media houses are carrying stories of this nature. Should the opposition be quiet? No. Are those who are saying it's blackmail, are they okay? It seems as if they are okay. But this goes beyond the opposition. That is why I categorically said when I was starting that I'm the leader of the opposition. But I wrote that letter out of patriotism, out of the love we have for this country. Because the president on several occasions has said he is traveling to clean the image of this country. And this effect on the country's reputation is more damaging than whatsoever that this country has had before. So it's very, very serious. Somebody is saying drugs are not manufactured here, they are being imported here. You have to work with the system to be able to import drugs into your country. You have to be able to have political protection. You must be able to have, and we've seen the unwillingness to take certain actions. So to us, this is not an opposition attempt to blackmail, but the blackmail, and it's not even a blackmail, because all of these nations have come out very clearly. We've seen evidence of containers being confiscated. We've seen evidence of containers being arrested, individuals being arrested. We've seen a lot of evidences all over the world. People being arrested with drugs allegations, and those people are carriers of our diplomatic passports. So it's very, very serious. It's very concerning. Nobody should even attempt to politicize this, except the person has another nationality. But those of us who are only Sierra Leoneans, we are careful because we want to protect the image of our nation. And we cannot do that in silence.
Which is more dangerous, in your opinion, Honorable? Is it the allegations about the allegations of this drug trafficking in Sierra Leone, or is it the government's handling of these allegations?
Both.
Which is more dangerous?
Let me tell you, there are times if you are one in your home and one of your ward, somebody you're taking care of in that house, does something bad, your reaction goes a long way to dissociate yourself from that person's action. If the person steals and you are very upfront with the person, you castigated the person openly, you rebuke the person and you told the person that stealing is not acceptable, even though you are staying with me, I will not encourage that. Nobody will call you a thief. But when somebody steals and you are there defending the person, protecting the person, it shows that it's a syndicate between you and the person.
What's your biggest fear if these allegations are not addressed transparently?
We will have visa problems.
Which we already have.
In fact, the number of nations will increase. Now it's only with America, but it will increase if it is not addressed. We will have problem of having tourists in Sierra Leone. We will have problem of people coming to invest in Sierra Leone. We will have, international aid being prevented from coming to Sierra Leone. So the effects are far-reaching. They are far-reaching. So that is why we want to advise government to take the necessary action to deliver the integrity of our one and only country.
What immediate actions should President Bio take, let's say, in the next 30 days?
Let's deal with Just Nideka first.
So let's start with his extradition.
Cut the sauce. When you cut the sauce, it will be very okay.
Right. Thank you so very much indeed, Honorable Abdul Kargbo, leader of the opposition APC in Parliament, for being part of our program this morning. In the second segment, we shall be discussing several things related to football in Sierra Leone, particularly SLFA and their friendlies, which they're about to play with their, Liberian counterparts. Let's take a short break. We shall be back.
More and more people are using Rokel SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, Rokel SIM Copper. Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Rokel SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Rokel SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
Sorry, car, go see some business partners.
You didn't give me memory, Michael. Can if I can say you give me this car, people not to in Andy. Today you pay me money. I don't send it for let you help me send money in Ghana. 2 weeks now you not send me money and 10 you not give me back me money. Today give me money.
You know ever sabi goodness in life. I send back money, but trust me today na the very last day I ever send money for now.
I don't need your help because I don't know so with Afri money I able send money. Now Baku Africa countries them
with Afri money. We able send money to over 10 African countries, whether it's Ghana, Gambia, Liberia or Kenya. If me party we know this, we not for the body glamour right now.
Okay, una go regret. Una go regret.
The best part right now, Michael. With Afri money, you dey able send money, even if you no use app, even if you know the online, directly. All you need for do, you just a dial *161#. Pam, your money don't go. So I don't need the help again. Thief man.
Thank you.
Send money to over 10 African countries instantly with Afri Money. No stress, no excuses. Just dial *161*1*6# now. Afri Money, quick and easy.
Good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina, share happiness.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes up waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sierra juice because they make come from with local food them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now you make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice is nutritious, it's healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salone.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, on 8th August 2024, Statutory Instrument Number 8 of 2024 regarding the conduct of nationwide population and housing census was successfully laid in Parliament. On 29th August 2024, this statutory instrument became effective following 21 days from its laying. Therefore, in line with the decennial census calendar, I am pleased to announce that my government will conduct a nationwide population and housing census.
It's 2026, we dey get with census. Make all my telling family, responsibility for bring development. Make all man telling family from the east to the west, blah blah blah. From the north to the south, no matter how you dare or you try, blah blah blah. You want to call mama or papa, blah blah blah. One picking on grandpa, blah blah blah. Auntie or uncle, blah blah blah. Motivate, hey they call you, yeah. One people, one nation. They call you, show me your name, show me your address. For make you go join the plan, the census go make you get the access. For make you go vote now this land, let the all you. If you don't want make them country again, make them creep you. Cause this time you're salon for right.
See what you been a second cabo aduo. We bring good news, salon people every year. Census don't come again. We ready for control, sky from the young to the old. Say the census go help make development day. Allow me then continue until you know go pay. It go help plan more schools, hospital and lights, even water for you community. Who say you there?
They come to you, yeah. One people, one nation. They come to you, yeah. Now we number go build salon. They come to you, yeah. No person say you not here. They come to you, yeah. They don't come to you, yeah. Census they come, the other we cooperate. Tell mama and papa, then get for country all, yeah, make we all ready. Census go help for make we know we safe, and who say we stand. If you claim say you love salon, who say development day, na day you for day.
Yambo tegina, mimbo tegina, mingo te teke biambe. Ka 2026, census na me right, census na you right. Family. Imagine if they count everybody that left you out.
Amulemba kotumobawa, upoka kufuni ngesa gbele tuwa. Tonya, ye amubuji hule panda. Wabulole tabawa baya ganga. Ye tumubawa mudagbe behave. Comment ya go salon bate mukweleva. Ngabi yina na metabawa na. Yo mama kome kolabo ganya delega. Ina.
Kakotone dim ding dang, dim ding dang, dim ding dang. Katap kata tinganga be kata konkel, anga be kata banganda yer. Abagato bagat, aindo gor, agalene, samo jamu, agatamu, tarentamu, donye. Mama marita kagontu.
Ame ya timi wandi, timi wandi. Ame ya timi wandi, timi wandi. Mwa Kongo tami wandi, ungewa menda milwena wo. Ya Kongo tabi wandi, ungeba handa bebe holo.
From the east to the west, blama blama. From the north to the south, blama. No matter how you dare or you try, blama blama. You want to go, mama or papa, blama blama. Mo pikin or grandpa, blama blama. Auntie or uncle, blama blama. Mo tibe o, may they come to you, yeah. One people, one nation, may they come to you, yeah. Now we number go build salon, may they come to you, yeah. No person say you not here, may they come to you, yeah. May they come to you, yeah.
Welcome back. You're still watching Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television and radio. Now let's go over to health, as the world recently campaigned against the intake of tobacco. Today we are turning our attention to tobacco smoking and the serious health risks it poses. Smoking remains one of the leading causes of preventable illnesses and death worldwide, affecting not only smokers but also those exposed to second-hand smoke. To help us better understand the dangers of tobacco use, the warning signs of smoking-related diseases, and why seeking medical help early can save lives, let's hear from a consultant specialist on today's health tips.
The evidence is overwhelming with regards the effect of smoking on the health of people all over. Like I said, in my field of ENT, smoking is the #1 cause of cancers of the mouth, the oral cavity, the throat, the voice box, the larynx, what we call the larynx, where our voice comes from, and also the esophagus. And beyond that, it destroys the lungs, and it's dramatically, it increases the risks for heart attacks and strokes. And it also goes in to affect fertility. It impacts on impotency for men, and it complicates even pregnancy for those who manage to be pregnant. Secondhand smoke is not just a nuisance, it is a toxin. The evidence is abound that we have, if I see, over 7,000 chemicals that emanate from smoke. And among them we've got hundreds of toxins. And the carcinogens, these are factors that directly cause cancer. We have over 70 that have been researched. And so you will see at all levels for adults, adults who are exposed to regular smokers environment, it increases your secondary exposure, increases your risks of cancer and cardiovascular diseases it's higher by over 20 to 30%. And worse is for children. The child's risk is even higher, and it predisposes them to chronic ear infections that could affect their speech and hearing, and of course their learning ability. And death. I would say there are no shortages of advice, of opportunities. You don't have to fight it alone. Smoking by itself is difficult. It's a habit. It becomes an addiction in itself because of the nicotine. But my advice is never give up on quitting. Most smokers who quit succeed after several attempts. So it's always advisable to seek help if you find it difficult. You don't have to suffer alone in silence. You have to seek support through counseling and through pharmacotherapy, wherein we give nicotine replacement therapies that are options that could distract you from smoking. But you can't take the option, say, I will do water filtering habits like shisha and those pipes, water pipes. In fact, they are worse. But there is advice. There is a lot of options to manage the smoking. We have treatments. There are prescription drugs that will help you in one way or the other to quit it. But the willpower also comes in. Yes.
Well, in case you're just tuning in, you're still watching or listening to Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV Television and Radio. Don't forget to send in your comments and ask your questions to the AYV News Facebook page. Next to sports, the Sierra Leone national senior men's team, Leone Stars, is set to take on regional rivals, Lone Star of Liberia, in 2 international friendly matches during the June FIFA international window. The first match will be played on home soil as Sierra Leone hosts Liberia on Saturday, 6th June 2026 at the Southern Arena in Bo City. The return leg is scheduled for Tuesday, 9th June 2026 when Liberia hosts Sierra Leone at the SKD Stadium in Monrovia.
The fixtures form part of Sierra Leone Stars' preparations for upcoming international competitions, focusing on team cohesion, tactical improvement, and maintaining competitive form. In their historical head-to-head football matchup since 1966, Liberia holds the upper hand over Sierra Leone with 8 wins, while Sierra Leone has won 4 times and the team have drawn 5 times.
The most recent competitive matches occurred during the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, where Liberia advanced 3-2 on aggregate after a dramatic penalty save in the final minutes of the second leg in Freetown. Leone Stars will go into the double-header with caretaker coach John Kister. This morning, to discuss preparation, among other things, we have Ibrahim Kamara, Head of Media and Marketing, Sierra Leone Football Association, SLFA. And we're also expecting Alhaji Mansare, who's the seasoned football analyst. Good morning, Ibrahim Kamara.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
And welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here after some time. But yes, good morning to viewers. Good morning to you all. I'm so excited to be here this morning.
So Leone Stars are preparing for 2 friendlies against Liberia. Yeah. What specific objective has the technical team set for these matches?
It's to try and take back the country to the African Cup of Nations. I mean, we've missed out on the joy that it brings to the people of this country. Each time Sierra Leone, goes to the, biggest football festival in Africa, which is the African Cup of Nations. We've been there 3 times now, 1994, 1996, and then we were there in 2001. We all saw what happened in 2021, I beg your pardon. In 2021, we all saw what happened in the country. The nation literally turned upside down in a very beautiful way, when we qualified for the African Cup of Nations 2021 in Cameroon. Since that time, we've not been fortunate to make it back to the competition. This is probably the 3rd time now we're going to try, and come back to the African Cup of Nations. So yes, to your question proper, these friendly matches, the main objective is basically to, put the team together tactically, technically, to be in the position of, high level of preparedness, basically, as, we all saw the CAF, had recently, made the draw, for the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. So this is basically to try and put ourselves together to position ourselves the best way possible as a nation, to approach the qualifiers, because we cannot afford to miss out on next year's African Cup of Nations.
With John Kister serving as the caretaker coach at the moment, what's the atmosphere like?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm going to have to be honest. I don't know if you're asking particularly with respect to the camp.
Yeah, the camp.
Yes. Okay. It's beautiful because do not forget, most of these players that are currently in the Leone Stars squad, they are players, that have gone through the technical, hands of John Kister, be it most of them at club level, some others at national team level. He helped a lot in terms of transitioning them from their, junior career to the senior career. So there are no strangers to him. And as a technical director, we feel we're very much, happy to have him, in charge of the team as a caretaker coach in terms of preparing the players for this upcoming 2 international friendly matches. So basically, we feel it is going to help us a whole lot in terms of achieving, the key objective behind these friendlies. Again, like I said, we wouldn't want to go into the qualifiers blindly without knowing exactly where we are in terms of what we can do as a team, basically, in terms of how much we feel the players are ready, who does need, a lot more of time or improvement in which area and all of that. You can only know that when you put the team into a test. So that's exactly what we're trying to do. So with John Kister in charge of of affairs, and as a coach, that had been there before, who, as a matter of fact, helped this nation in taking the team to the African Cup of Nations, we feel we're very much comfortable, and we think he's going to be able to give us what we want, basically.
I think you're confusing these players. A while ago, we had Mohamed Kalon in charge. He was asked to leave, and now we have Kista again, at the helm of affairs. Kalon had already used these players to a particular skill set, format of playing. Now there is another man in charge. Soon, perhaps, Kista would give way again to another coach. Aren't you confusing these players?
No, not really. Football is a discipline that is, universal. Let me put it that way.
Each coach has their style.
Yeah, I understand that part, but there are certain things that you cannot change.
Okay.
You and I, do know that. Basically, it's not something that we were wishing for,
Okay.
But as much as you don't want to be changing coaches, but there are certain things that will lead to situations of that nature, basically, But what I can assure you and the general public is that whatever decision is that we take, it's all in the best interest of the country.
Okay.
Because as the president of the Sierra Leone Football Association, President Maada Bio always says, Leone Stars does not belong to one person. It does not belong to him only as a president or to me only. It belongs to the people of this country.
Okay.
We know the joy that it brings to the people of this country each time, Leone Stars achieve good results, particularly when we are fortunate to qualify for continental, competitions with, specifically the African Cup of Nations. So at the end of the day, all of these decisions that we're taking, must be in the interest of the people of this country. So in terms of whether in fact we're confusing the players, it's football is universal, like I said earlier on. So basically the skill set, Mohamed Kalon had done his own part. The knowledge that he imparted onto the players is not going to go away. It's the same thing that is going to be built on by the technical director.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget, Mohamed Kalon also worked under John Kista. And when we say a technical director, he oversees all the national team coaches, basically. They work under him. So in terms of systems, and all of that, it stems from the technical director.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't gone with what's basically, he's been using by way of, his technical know-how or basically the knowledge that he was trying to pass on to the players.
Let me welcome.
We still have that in hand.
Let me welcome Alhaji Mansouri, seasoned football analyst in Sierra Leone. You've joined us at a time when we're discussing perhaps, these matches that we're about to play. You call them friendlies in your own language. Do you think we stand a chance against the Liberian side?
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure being here this morning. So Leone Stars, over the years, since we last qualified for the AFCON in Cameroon, we have been trying to see how best we can manage the team, being that even the qualification we qualified for the AFCON, we had to depend on Nigeria, the Super Eagles, to do us a favor so we can qualify. So the team has been a work in progress over the years, trying new players, bringing in players from different parts of Europe and bringing in players with Sierra Leonean background. But now we are into the AFCON qualifiers again, being that we failed to qualify for the past 2 editions of the AFCON. And to start the qualifiers with a friendly against Liberia, I think it's a step in the right direction, considering the fact that the Liberians are also rebuilding. They also have failed to qualify for the AFCON for the past 4 or 5 editions. They have been away from the competition. And looking at the draw that has been made for the AFCON, we are with the Leopards of the DRC, a very good team, the Warriors of Zimbabwe, a very, very good team, and of course the Zalang National of Equatorial Guinea. These are countries that are consistently in the African Cup of Nations. So we have now an Herculean task to qualify against a very, very difficult set of teams in African football that of course, Congo is in the World Cup, so you know how solid they are. And now we have to go against the Liberians. It's a step in the right direction. It's a good call from the SLFA to even have the foreign-based players come back home to see how Sierra Leoneans love to see the national team, because it's been a while we have not played at home. The last time we played at home was against, I think, the Super Eagles of Nigeria at the Shaka Stevens Stadium, before our stadium was actually banned by the Confederation of African Football. So it's been a while we have not been playing home matches. We have been playing away from home in Liberia and Guinea, and now we have an opportunity to play in front of our people on Saturday. It's a massive chance for the boys to impress and show they have actually grown a lot, because you know how passionate Sierra Leoneans are when it comes to Leone Stars. It's not a secret at all.
Okay. Ibrahim, let's talk about this process of rehiring a coach. How many applications have you received so far?
We received about a little over 70.
70 applications?
Yes, a little over 70. I think it's about 78 or 79. I cannot really say exactly, but I know for sure that, you know, the number is above 70, with only 3 from our local coaches. Yes, out of that 70. The thing is, the notice that we put out really attracted, you know, a lot of coaches from around the world. Most of them, you know, had, you know, worked with big clubs in Europe, including Manchester United. I can tell you that for sure. But for obvious reasons, we cannot name names.
I understand.
Yeah, but pretty soon we're going to publish the shortlisted names, the shortlisted candidates, basically, and then we shall go into interviews, because the plan is basically to try and expedite the recruitment process, so we can have a substantive head coach for the team.
How many will be on the shortlisted?
We're planning to shortlist 5 out of the 70, a little over 70. You know, we're planning to shortlist 5.
All of these 5 coaches, international coaches?
Well, I cannot really say for now. Yes, but we're going to shortlist 5 coaches at the end of the day. That will be, you know, facing the interview.
I wanted to understand, does the SLFA have the requisite resources to, you know, hire, if you like, a foreign coach at this time?
Yes, we do. We do. As a football federation alone, it's going to be difficult for us. But don't forget, we have the support of government, which is something that we've been enjoying for the longest time. And that is, in fact, why we feel, you know, we have to do what we have to do to produce results, because the government has been pouring. It is no longer any secret that the government has been pouring a lot of money into football, particularly when it comes to Leone Stars. So yes, and I say this because it's on the government of Sierra Leone to pay the coach that we're going to hire at the end of the day. You know, so we have our own, you know, responsibilities basically as a football federation, but when it comes to the salaries of the head coach, you know, that one falls, you know, entirely on the government of Sierra Leone, through, of course, the National Sports Authority and the Ministry of Sports. So yes, with that kind of support, we are in the position, you know, to hire, you know, a foreign coach.
Alhaji, do you think the people of Sierra Leone generally are getting the value for the monies that the government, you know, has been spending on football in Sierra Leone?
So when it comes to football generally, Eustace, it's not a quick fix. You know, countries around that have qualified for the World Cup in USA, Mexico and Canada, countries like Cape Verde, countries like DRC and others, they have been working for a very long time. You know, the infrastructure has been there, you know, the quality, and they have been able to attract a lot of players from around the world to come back home to play for these countries. And for us, remember, we had to fight for a very long time. The football ecosystem in Sierra Leone suffered a lot. Players, I mean, actually at some point had to find some other job to do, because we were only playing community football. And after a while, we had to come back. You know, we played the Premier League that attracted Sierra Leoneans. We at that time, we even want to see people sitting on the track to watch the Premier League. It tells you how we missed the game at that time. But speaking generally about Leone Stars and football development around the national team, it's not going to be a quick fix. I had at IBK saying we have over 70 applicants applying for the job. It tells you a lot of people are getting interested now in Sierra Leone football, and that's a good thing. But again, we want to ask the question, are we really ready as a nation to actually accept a foreign coach at the moment? You know, because that has been the way the Sierra Leone Football Association has been looking now recently, considering we have tried a lot of our local guys. Maybe they will want to see what's happening outside. But the situation around bringing in a foreign coach is what is going to be a little bit difficult, because we have to bring him back. We have to make sure, I mean, he monitors the league. You know, we have to make sure there is enough resources for him to go to the provinces to watch players. You know, we have to make sure we have a proper hospitality for him. And all these other things, it will cost a lot of money. And looking at how things are unfolding at the moment, I'm not sure whether the government of Sierra Leone will have that resources to pay a foreign coach. But maybe, I mean, they will have to see how they can manage this situation. Personally, I would have loved us to continue with Mohamed because of what he has started. But the SLFA, according to them, I mean, and the executive committee, which of course they have the responsibility to hire and fire, we have to respect that. But now we are going to see how best we start all over again. Because when the foreign coach comes in, yes, he will have to maybe have one or two local coaches around, but it's a whole new set of ideas, a whole new set of players that he will want to bring in, players maybe he has been
Is it now settled that we're going in for a foreign coach? Because according to Ibrahim Kamara,
that is the way, I think that is the way
well.
the SLFA are looking now, because by all standards, it seems locally the best option we had is gone, which is Mohamed.
Didn't he apply?
He's gone?
He's part of the application, but he said he applied. But at the moment, I don't think the SLFA is watching that particular way any longer. I don't want to speak for...
Would have to ask, Ibrahim, did you receive any application from...
But
by the way, I'm glad you intervened. That was really smart. Because I really, never said we were going to go for a foreign coach. The question you asked me rightly was whether we are prepared to accommodate a foreign coach, and I provided response to that.
Did you receive any application from Mohamed Kalon? For this position, said coach?
I cannot really say, and this is for confidential.
Didn't he apply? I think he said he applied
on his social media handle.
He said he applied.
I'm coming. I don't want to start to talk about people that applied.
I just want to confirm whether he applied or not.
He said it on his own. I mean, out of his own volition, he disclosed the fact that he applied.
Did SLFA receive any application?
The SLFA does not want to be,
No, you are not saying whether you are hiring him or not.
No, I understand. We also don't want to disclose the names of those who applied. This is because at the end of the day, we are going to shortlist.
But Kalon had gone ahead and said that he applied openly in public.
Sorry? He said it on his own. He said it on his own, but I cannot really confirm that.
It's public information, actually, that he applied. He said it.
Yeah, he said it on his own. That's what I'm saying. But
are you disputing?
I hope you understand. I don't really want to.
No, I understand. I just wanted to understand whether indeed he applied or not.
For example, if someone applies to this institution now, if that person is not going to be shortlisted, AYV does not want to be the one to say, fully apply.
But there's always a reason you could give why you didn't hire him or not.
But I mean, we'll give that reason to him directly, but we cannot put that to the public. That's my point.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not asking you to tell me whether you'll be hiring him or not and why you will not be hiring him.
I understand the question very well. And my response is we don't want to talk about people who applied. The only thing that we can do at the end of the day is to put out a list of the shortlisted candidates. That we can do.
Earlier on, you told Jones asked whether or not we can afford
a foreign coach.
A foreign coach.
Yes.
Can we really afford a foreign coach? Because Already we were strugglling to pay.
said that we cannot.
And the circumstances around it. It's not that we but the circumstances around are in the fall.
You're saying it's maybe too expensive,
exactly,
compared to a local coach.
Because
if we have a local
is this true,
coach,
Ibrahim?
I mean, I think we should wait for that bridge. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it.
Yeah.
We said we couldn't afford to pay Mohamed Kalon $20,000.
No, we never said that.
Well, Safa Abdullah was here.
We never
hosted Safa Abdullah, and he said that. He said that, well, they said they can't afford to pay Mohamed Kalon $20,000.
I think it had to do with processes and procedures that were not correctly followed, basically. But I don't.
But you owe the man months of backlog.
Sorry?
You owe the man months of backlog.
Again,
actually.
it goes back to what I just said: processes and procedures. I mean, you heard what was being said by the former executive director of the National Sports Authority himself, that there were issues around documentation, him signing a contract. In fact, he never signed the contract. There is no document on which you can say this is a contract and this is Mohamed Kalon's signature. For example, if you sign a contract, your signature has to be on that contract, right or wrong? Yeah. But there is no document till today that will show that this is his contract and this is his signature. If you say this is my contract, then my signature has to be on it.
Let's talk about.
But I just think we should focus on Leone Stars.
We're about to looking generally. I understand. Let's talk about the players.
And this is not to dodge your questions at all.
No, it's okay.
They're all very valid, and I'm glad basically to always provide a response to them, because at the end of the day, it's in the interest of.
With respect, let's focus on the players for now. I mean, you see, recently, we tried to obtain, access into the Seka Stevens Stadium, which has been largely dysfunctional for years now. That alone is costing the government hundreds of thousands of dollars to play matches internationally.
Correct.
Also robbing the players of the opportunity for effective practices at our local stadium. Correct. Much of our matches are being played abroad. Yeah. Now, what I observed recently, because we had been asking questions actually about the status of this renovation that is ongoing supposedly. So we recently flew a drone over the Seka Stevens Stadium. What we saw, I'm not sure they still have the footages in our control, TX there to just put it on the screen. We saw a stadium that is perhaps even below 50% complete. We were shocked to the core, to have seen such footage. We thought that perhaps they had even progressed to up to 80%. But from what we saw, it's like they haven't even begun. Because if you look at it, just like seeing an empty carcass, how soon? You said next year, by end of next year. Are you sure that stadium would have been ready by that time? Considering not much has been done, really.
I think I said that off record, right? So we're beginning to bring conversation down.
I understand.
Yeah, but actually, when I said that, it's the information that we're getting from the National Sports Authority and the Ministry of Sports. Okay. Because when Madam asked me the question, I told her that it's the renovation of the stadium is directly under the purview of the National Sports Authority.
I understand.
Yes. So the information we've been getting from them unofficially, basically, was what I.
How is this affecting our players?
Seriously,
that's what I want to understand.
Very seriously. Very, very seriously, I must say. And you're very much correct that as a matter of fact, this is one of the reasons as to why we had not been succeeding to take back the country to the African Cup of Nations, because all of our home matches in those qualifiers were played away from home, just like Alachi rightly mentioned. And I mean, I don't want to sit here and begin to say we did not qualify because of that. But basically, it's one of the reasons, because
it's a crucial
had
factor.
we played those home matches we played away, had we played them at home in front of our home crowd, that in a way, I mean, you are a football person,
motivation,
exactly, would have definitely impacted, the performance of the boys. That would have, given us better results, So we're looking forward to, being able to have the boys to be able to play back in front of their home crowd. We're also exploring that possibility through the Southern Arena, because as we speak, this upcoming match that we're playing against Liberia, it's a Tier A match. That means it's a FIFA sanctioned match. So there's basically a lot at stake when it comes to that particular match on Saturday. You rightly read, the very correct head-to-head, ranking between us and Liberia, and how they are, leading us by a very wide margin. So we're looking forward to closing that gap in that match, because beating them would definitely, take us closer. That is one. And the other thing as well, the ranking also will seriously be affected. The outcome of that match will inform the ranking of Sierra Leone and that of Liberia as well.
Tell us about the composition of the squad. Are we expecting to see new faces? Are we expecting to see people coming from our international players coming in, or returning players, or new, just...
Yeah. Yes, we're going to be seeing new faces that are going to be players that have never played for Leone Stars before. For example, we have a very young goalkeeper, basically, that has just been called into the squad, and a few others, basically. And for the foreign-based players, all of those that are, fit and available are going to be, they are in, because they're already in the squad. The Mustafa Bundu, Sule Kaikai, Idrissa Kanu, Mohamed Bouya Toure, he'd been around for some time now, playing with Star Sports Academy, Saidu, Mansari, who they fondly call Okocha. So all of these ones. So basically it's going to be the full-blown Leone Stars team, not so the Team B or Team C or whatsoever. This is the main Leone Stars team. Again, like I said, because it is going to be a very competitive match. A friendly, but a very competitive one, in the sense that if we lose, it is going to affect our global ranking. If we win, it is also going to impact positively our global ranking. So all of these are at stake in that match. So that goes to show how much important, and highly rated that match is.
Okay,
no, it's good. Please finish up.
Go on.
Finish up.
It's a boys' talk.
Finish up.
Yeah,
well, Liberia,
but it's a girls' talk as well.
I know.
Don't forget, female football is currently.
I know, right? Liberia has historically had an edge over Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
They've dominated the fixture.
Sadly, yes.
Between.
Yes.
Is that an added pressure on our part, or a motivation to do even more when we go there?
Yeah, so I think I'll take the second word you use. We don't look at it as a pressure, actually, but we use it to motivate us as a nation, to do well in that particular match. Because I can tell you for sure, the Liberians, they are brothers, they are friends, but normally when it comes to football, they will tell you, my man will better, or my man will play better football, or my man will beat you. They like this competitiveness. There's always this competitiveness.
Do you think they play better than us?
Sorry?
Do you think they play better than us?
I don't think so. The current squad? No, I don't think so. No. In 2021, we were in the African Cup of Nations. This is what we use against them. Anytime this competitiveness, actually kicks in when we talk about football between us and Liberia. We were in 2021 African Cup of Nations. They weren't. They've been absent for longer than us. We cannot say it's a good thing for us, because for us as a nation, particularly under the current dispensation of President Babadi Kamara, we shouldn't be missing out at all. We have to be going back to back.
Yes. So the Liberians and of course us, we have always been having this edge when it comes to playing against them.
Yeah.
But I think the last time we played in a World Cup qualifier, in a competitive game, they actually eliminated us. That was the time Mohamed Bouya Toure actually had an opportunity to score. He came in, and then Omar Bangoa Zingeli had an opportunity to score from the penalty spot. He had to miss. So it is always a competitive game against the Liberians. I am excited to see Sierra Leonean players with British parents coming in for the first time back home to play in front of our people. I think that's a massive, massive opportunity for them. Players like also Juma Ba, since he made his debut for the national team, he has not had this opportunity to play in front of our people back home. Few other young players who are also coming in
Mustafa Bundu
also have an opportunity to play in front of our people. So this is why this friendly is a very, very important friendly. And the Liberians also are having a new coach. They are having this Romanian coach who just came into the Liberian setup. And he's also using this friendly to identify players. Also, when we talk about friendlies, we don't want to focus more on the result, you know. Friendlies is about giving players the opportunity. Players you have not seen in a while, or players you have not been given the opportunity when it comes to competitive matches, but you know the competition in the squad is not giving you the chance to give them minutes. So friendlies is an opportunity to showcase players. It's not to pow for win.
Yeah.
We have to ensure when we go into friendlies, the coach will have a base. Now, if we have to qualify for the AFCON, we have to have a pool of players that we'll be looking at, maybe 25, maybe 27. So this friendly against Liberia, what this friendly will do, I hope the incoming coach will have a keen attention in that friendly, because it will also give him an opportunity to see players that have not been given the opportunity to play for Leone Stars for a very long time. Like IBK stated, Mohamed Buya Toure has not had enough minutes recently in the national team. This is an opportunity for him. The young man Samuel Gandhi coming in from Moldova, you know, players like Saidu Fofana or Kocha. It's been a while they have not been having enough minutes. So what I think this will do is to help the coaches to have a proper look at the players, because this is going to be a two-legged friendly. We are going to play them, and then they will also host us in at the SKD Sports Complex in Monrovia. So it's a massive opportunity for the players to also showcase themselves and also put themselves in position that the coach will count on them for the AFCON qualifiers. Because in this AFCON qualifiers, Jones, this is the most difficult AFCON qualifiers group we have found ourselves for a very, very long time.
Yes.
Because when you look at the strength of the teams, we have to be ready. And that is why I want to really talk to IBK. If we can play our matches at home, they should put the pressure on the government, the NSA, to ensure we play all our 3 home matches at this stadium. Because if we win 3 games at home, that's 9 points. You just need 1 more point away, which will be enough to take you to the AFCON. 10 points is enough to go to the AFCON. So we have to ensure the national stadium is ready, so we can use that as a fortress. You know, when you come here, we know we'll beat you anyhow, because we know it's our home. So when we are talking about the stadium, I think the authorities should really take this into consideration. The qualifiers are right around us. After this friendly window, the next window we are having is going to be the qualifiers, the start of the qualifiers. And that is why
September.
Exactly. We don't want to play Liberia and Guinea any longer. We want to make use of the facility we are having, so Sierra Leoneans can go and be the extra motivation, the 12th man in football. Very important. So if we can have this for us and we can have the stadium ready, I believe we can win all our home matches.
Which is why I wanted to ask, really, why are we playing Liberia? Because from what I understand is that the FIFA ranking recently is that Sierra Leone is above Liberia.
Yes, we're above them. So Liberia, because of very many things, you know, one has to do with the cost involved. Now, we were approached by a number of other countries, you know, for friendly match. But, you know, normally when you go into a friendly match, you have, you know, match agents that organize these friendly matches. And it costs a lot to pay them agents fee and things like that. So with the Liberia match, you know, they are our sister nation, our sister football federation. So basically the organization of these friendlies is between us and them. So there's no need to pay an extra fee to a match agent. That's one of the reasons. And the second reason, and I think, and this is the most important one, we wanted Sierra Leone to play their home match at home. So when it comes to that, Southern Arena has always been an approved, you know, a FIFA certified stadium. But then hosting a match, you know, because I mean, when I listen to Alaji, you know, talking about the possibility of us, you know, being able to play our home matches at the Second Stephen Stadium, that is not possible for this qualifiers that will be playing in September, October, and next year, March. You know, the qualifiers are done. So maybe the next edition of the qualifiers, probably the Sega Stevens Stadium will be ready. Now, coming back to the Southern Arena, it has always been a highly certified, you know, FIFA standard stadium. But one of the things, you know, that I've always been militating against, you know, Southern Arena hosting Leone Stars match or Class A match there is the hotels. Because FIFA are giving you a nod or saying, yeah, it's okay, you can go on and host your Class A match. It's more than just the standard of the facility. It has to do with the hotels, you know, and, you know, a lot of other, you know, facilities within that city. And Bow City, without being disrespectful, is not really up to that standard, giving, you know, the available hotels that they do have, especially before now, because I think lately they are beginning to come up, because the rule actually says at least 3 5-star hotels should be in that city. And you and I know that we don't have that in Bow, you know. So basically, now for this, and this is exactly why we settled for Liberia. Liberia now said, okay, I mean, we're not worried about 5-star hotels or whatsoever. For as long as the stadium is up to that standard, we can come and play. So the point that I'm trying to make is, had it been any other nation, they would have said, no, we cannot go because that city has not got the standard of the hotels that we're looking forward to.
And given that budget is under consideration here, how much are we looking at for this particular match? How much
in terms of the budget?
Yes.
I think NSA should be in the right position to speak to that. And this is because they deal with the government directly when it comes to funds. They just come to us and say, okay, this is what we have. And things like that. And as we speak, they are still on it, back and forth.
Would it be a priority for, you know, the NSA to pile pressure, perhaps, on government to have the stadium renovated soon? And how crucial do you think? Because I'm thinking, really, wouldn't this affect, you know, our qualification to the AFCON?
It will. It will. As a matter of fact, it's been affecting our qualification to the African Cup of Nations. You know, it will definitely affect, because we'll not be, you know, we will not have the luxury to play our home matches at home. So yes, we don't really know where the bottleneck is. That is a problem. Maybe NSA can speak to that in a bit more, you know, with a bit more clarity. You know, as to why the delay, you know, when in fact do they think they're going to, because when it came to this, when they wanted to start the renovation, we only came in to provide expert, you know, in terms of what is going to be the size of the field, you know, I mean, these areas that basically have to do with, you know, expertise from the Football Federation. And again, we also told them that the sitting accommodation, you know, right around the stadium, every attendant must be allocated to a specific seat, just like you have the Southern Arena. You know, we don't used to have that at the Sierra Leone Stadium. And they were going to go on with the renovation without taking that into consideration. You know, had they completed the renovation without that, it still wouldn't have been approved. So we told them that. So I think it was added onto the renovation project and all of that. So at some point they were telling us that that was one of the reasons as to why, you know, there has been a delay, exactly. Because they had to go back to the Chinese government, you know, to talk about things like that. But again, like I said, NSA should be able to give you, you know, a clear explanation as to why the delay, where is the bottleneck, when in fact they think the Sierra Leone Stadium is going to be ready. But you know, as a football federation, we know these are all challenges now going into the qualifiers. So we're ready to work against all of these challenges. Right. You know, we
should hurry because some of us have no other team but Leone Stars.
We have to go. We have to be there.
That's we have to be there.
It's a priority for President Babadi Kamara.
I think this will make qualification extremely difficult. Right. Hearing from the head of media that we are not going to play our home matches at home.
Because it's not ready.
Yes. I think this is going to also be another big factor for us if we have to miss out again for the African Cup of Nations. Remember, this is the biggest continental football competition in Africa.
It is.
And if you want to be seen at the highest level of African football, you should be playing in the African Cup of Nations. And now we need to make sure if we are playing to Guinea in Guinea, or if we are playing in Liberia, we have to ensure we take supporters, and it is going to cost us again. But I hope the SLFA and the NSA will work together as one to ensure we have the required motivation, the required support, because we deserve to play in the African Cup of Nations. We have missed not only for the past 2 editions, we have came closer and we failed. So the last time we qualified, like I said, Nigeria did us a favor. We don't want other teams to be doing us a favor all the time. We have to win our matches. 10 points will take us to the AFCON, like I said. 3 home matches, victory, and 1 draw away, it's enough. But the resources, the infrastructure is what we need to put emphasis on. I'm glad.
Sorry to interrupt. I don't understand what you meant exactly when you said Nigeria did us a favor.
I mean, the AFCON we qualified, Nigeria needed to beat Benin.
Much time, gentlemen.
They did themselves a favor because they were also trying to qualify.
They had already qualified.
If we hadn't won the last match we won in Guinea, we wouldn't have qualified.
Yeah, Nigeria
so we also did our homework, actually.
So we have to make sure.
But you know, when it comes to qualification, it's like that. You are trying to qualify, I'm trying to qualify. If you beat this team, it is to my advantage. I also make use of, you know, my own opportunity. That was exactly what we did. Because like I said, if we had lost the last match we played in Guinea, you know, we wouldn't have qualified. Even when Nigeria had beaten the other teams, we still wouldn't have qualified. So we had to still win by that 1-0 results to take the country to the
Gentlemen, I thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning. I just wish our darling Leone Stars very well and all the best for the upcoming matches, and I hope they win.
I hope so too.
We will win.
Say, that's
my only team.
I know more we get. Right. This is where we'll end today's edition of the program Wake Up Sierra Leone, and we would like to say many thanks indeed to our sponsor, Rokel Commercial Bank, for their support to the program, and to also our valued and cherished guests who wake up every morning to watch our program. My name is Victor Jones.
And I am Alimata George. Please stay tuned to AY with her today as we have other exciting programs coming up. Till we meet again on Friday, take care of yourself. Remember to show kindness always. Have a pleasant day.
Indeed.